The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by the hosts, guests, and callers on Beyond the Headlines are not necessarily those of management, ownership, or production unit of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without express written permission of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2021.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, this is Howard Grant sitting here on Beyond the Headlines for Shanique Miller as she continues to be able to bask in a glorious sun wherever she is. I know she's having a good time, and she'll be back real soon. Ladies and gentlemen, we're continuing our conversation about national issues of growth and development in the country, and where we are in these particular spaces. Joining me once again to be able to dive deep into those particular issues is none other than my very good friend, Garth Roseborough. And we must be starting our own party tonight. We ain't know they get called yet.
We ain't know we calling it yet.
But it could be blue. Obviously it could be blue.
But how do you figure we ever start parties in the Bahamas? I mean, the last election, how many parties did we have? I know we had the regular two, which was the PLP, the F&M. We had the DNA last time, right? We had the COI, we had the Righteous Kingdom Party or something else, or some other independent parties, about 8 of them on the ballot.
You started off with a very peculiar question. You say how you think you start parties in this country. That's easy. It's just rebellion. It's just somebody who didn't get what they wanted to get. It's just the sort of exhaustion that you have from being able to toe the line of non-productivity. You've been waiting forever for this party to afford you an opportunity to listen to your vision, to hear your dream, to be able to talk about these things, to dive deep into being able to develop the constituency, to do these particular things. You never hear it. You never get it. Even most recently, we would have been able to hear more specifically from Erica Knowles. We read in the paper in one of the dailies yesterday. Erica Knowles from Berry Islands has said that yeah, we need to be able to have our own MP, because anytime that we're baked in, and they have been from time immemorial, anytime that we're baked in, whether with North Andros or Bimini, we are neglected in these particular spaces. So essentially, she's saying from her lifetime, she's seen neglecting, right? She's been neglected, or the constituency has been neglected. But far beyond that, the pairing of both, if this is the trend of neglect, then this has been the trend for Berry Islands. And people get frustrated. They get frustrated, and they say things like, hey, listen, I'm going to do my own thing. It's time for me to be able to stand up. And that's where we get third parties from.
Well, we're looking at islands like Long Island. We've not yet heard of any representation coming from either party in terms of, we know the F&M now holds that seat with Mr. Adrian Gibson, who's the sitting member of Parliament. As to whether he would return or not, we don't know. But we do understand that the governing party has gone in there and made some insertions that, you know what, we need to fix the airport, we need to fix some infrastructural situations. They're going to need a bank down there. And I remember there's a whole lot of hoopla going on that, you know what, if the Progressive Liberal Party is to go into Long Island and do these things, I use the word do, then there's a possible victory for the PLP. And I've heard some notable people from Long Island saying, you know what, we need these things done, you do it, we're going to give you the vote. And I don't know if we've heard any good news in terms of infrastructural growth or expansion in Long Island yet. Have you heard anything?
For Long Island?
Yes.
Okay, let's start this over like this. Leslie was able to remind me last evening about the fact that Owen Wells was supposed to be identified for the constituency of Long Island initially for the PLP. We know that Tyrell Young, who is a senator or was a senator, had an opportunity to be able to vie as a candidate for that particular constituency. He didn't do too bad. He did well. But he still came up short in the constituency of Long Island. Hence, Adrian Gibson being able to get the victory over him in that particular stead. I thought that he would have given it a shot. And again, we didn't hear. We also heard, and I know y'all don't want me to have these kind of a conversation with you, from the transition from the Free National Movement organization, we hadn't heard a great deal from Loretta Butler Turner. We hadn't heard a great deal from Loretta Butler Turner since her transition from the organization. And as a result of her transition from the organization, we've then heard her being able to move in a consultancy capacity for the PLP. We know that she was vying for this position in times before. We know that the affiliation, the opportunity that existed in times before. We thought that this would have been a great pairing for her from a political standpoint. We don't know. I don't know whether or not she's even considering these things. I'm only running down the line. Most recently, we would have heard language come out of Long Island indicating that for the very first time we get the dock fixed, we get this fixed, we get all these things fixed, we're considering going PLP.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we said.
That's what was going around.
That's what's going around.
So what's going around now? Because I haven't heard anything.
Most recently, we would have been able to see a $20 million contract signed by, I think it was called the Rowdy Boys. I stand to be corrected.
Okay.
The Rowdy Boys, because I made a call to one of the proprietors of this particular organization, congratulating them, asking them about these particular things. This is for road development, so forth and so on. One of the first times the government directly made a contribution to the people who are from there, who live there, to be able to produce there. So they knew who to pull in, they know who to hire, they know who to take care of, and everybody under his span and his wing could taste a little piece of this $20 million as they continue to be able to do this. This is an excellent strategy and campaign. Now, I don't know if this is going to lead the PLP to the victory that they seek, that they sought after in the constituency of Long Island. Because if we remember Larry Cartwright wanted to get the nomination for the Free National Movement. The Free National Movement denied him. Long Island people said, we want Larry. The Free National Movement gave someone else it. They put Larry in as an independent and told Larry, when you get in, Larry, what you must do? Walk the floor. We know that Long Islanders, they dance to the rhythm and the beat of their own drum. Their determination is not based upon what's happening from central government. Their determination is not what's happening in Nassau and elsewhere. They're looking at the preservation of their community and being able to identify these things. The PLP sought to infiltrate by being able to provide the infrastructure necessary for growth and development. And we don't know, or we're looking with interest, to see whether or not this inflection has been able to or persuade the people to move in one direction or another.
So we're in the year 2026. We're looking forward to a general election this year. And do you feel, from what you're hearing, that sufficient has been done in Long Island to safely say the PLP can win Long Island?
Yes.
You believe that?
Well, like I said, you don't know the fickle nature, and like I said, they dance to the rhythm of their own drum, their own beat. And so whether that is a financial influx or whether that is infrastructural development or whatever it is, if their convictions, their position is F&M, then they're going F&M. This is what we've seen from Long Islanders for years now. But the truth is that the PLP understood that there's deprivation that existed here from Joaquin, or like former Prime Minister Perry Christie would have called Joe Kwan, right? So I...
But this is what I like about you, because I can just beat you along. So here's why I asked you about Long Island. Adjacent to the constituency of Long Island Harbor Grant, there's a constituency of Mayaguana.
Okay.
Mayaguana, Inagua, Crooked Island, Acklands, Long Key. There is an aspirant in Mayaguana by the name of Robert Karen.
Yes.
Robert DePooch Karen.
Mm-hmm.
Based on my relatives that are there in Mayaguana,
mm-hmm.
I understand that a whole lot of work is being done with backspin and everything else happening in Mayaguana.
Mm-hmm.
I am confused politically because there are some candidates who seemingly make great contribution to the constituency, and they are in the first pickings of candidacy. As for Mayaguana, here's a gentleman who says he's interested and contributing. Why do you believe then, as the host of the show. I'm just being humble when I ask you this. Is a delay in going ahead and bringing a Robert Karen to the front of the line?
All right, so he want me to bait him. He baited me into my daughter called it rage bait the other night, right?
I gotta ask you hard questions.
My daughter says to me, "Daddy, don't listen to mommy. She's just trying to rage bait you." I said, "That's exactly what she's trying to do."
But I want you to make it make sense.
She's trying to rage bait me, right?
Okay.
So he's trying to pull me into this thing, and I'm going to be honest with my observation about it.
Thank you.
Mr. Karen, in his particular capacity, has significant history, not only with the Free National, but not only with political organizations in this country or governance in this country, but entrepreneurialism, business ownership. His family has a lineage, a legacy associated with this, right? He has a significant position in being able to, just the optics. I think that he is struggling with optics. Not that his capability, not his articulation, not his insight, not his passion, not his love or desire for the constituency, not his vision, none of these things. He's struggling with optics. The PLP for far too long, and this is what I said to Leslie last night, has not been able to tamper their message of being able to identify a certain subsector and community of this country. The PLP for far too long has used the language of being able to unearth the tribulation that exists for the lower class or the working class or the poor man, and they've put the poor man, quote unquote, have put the PLP on their shoulders. And so the PLP articulates this sort of an idea that we are for the grassroots. I will never forget during a campaign time that this had to be in 2002, because this is, I could vote now, I fresh out of school, I was man, I get into all the rallies. And I would have heard, this had to be during the time that they were trying to get Hubert Ingram and Brent Simonet in. And the language that came and that emanated from the podiums for the PLP was salt and pepper, if you remember this. You remember this, oh, y'all want salt and pepper? This is salt and pepper, right? This is kind of the thing. And remember, we are still dealing with an organization historically from the inception who would remind you of the tribulation that the country would have gone through. We're just talking historically now. We're not trying to be able to omit history. This is history. Historically, an organization who would have been able to play roots the entire time during the election season leading up to these particular things. These are the stories that I've heard. I wasn't conscious to these particular things, but these are a familiar story that exists in these places. Fast forward 2025. Because you've marred your organization with the idea that we are for the black poors, you're now going into an environment trying to be able to, you're introducing, just from an optical standpoint, you're introducing a person of a lighter hue. He has vision, he has articulation, he has resources, he has access, he has these, but much of your people could jump from island to island to island to island to reach all those people in Mayaguana. Mm-hmm. Mayaguana is one of the most expensive constituencies to represent.
Yes.
I'll never forget that Jamal Shea had an opportunity to be able to go down there. Jamal must have got about 3 votes for the DNA.
I remember that.
He didn't get no votes because he couldn't go from island to island to island to island. It's an expensive venture. You have someone with the means, with the capability, and only thing I believe that the party is doing is allowing these things to be able to breeze over and persons to be able to come to a consensus and a very clear understanding that Mr. Kerry is the man. And this is my view.
And this is what they scream.
You're ruffling and wrestling with optics. How will people see a white man in this position? You didn't want me to say that. You're wrestling with that, but this is the language that you've projected into the minds of the Bahamian people from the inception. We for the poor man, we lifting every tear, we doing this, we doing that. You didn't have problem with being able to put Christopher in a position for Sinans. You didn't have problems with that. Why? Because Sinans is majority white. And these are affluent persons. You didn't have a problem with that. You're pairing those particular individuals with their environment. So when you talk about Michael, which has a darker hue, is this a good fit? Is this a good look? And I think that that's what you're wrestling with. But he has the means, he has the passion, he has the vision, he has the articulation, he has the resources, he has all of those things to be able to give you a good fight and victory. I believe he can be able to get victory.
Well, I disagree somewhat with you because my mother's from Betsy Bay, Mayaguana. And my mother is just a bit lighter than I am, but she loves those type of people. And Mayaguana loves those type of people. Mayaguana loves people that look like you, Howard Grant. And so I don't see the same obstacle that you see.
The decision making doesn't exist with the constituency associations in these constituencies.
And that's the problem now.
The decision making exists on Farrington Road. The decision making for the Free National Movement doesn't exist in all these various constituencies and conversations. The decision making exists on Mackey Street. It don't matter where you're from or where you ain't from or what you've done or what you haven't done. The decision making, and this is why you need lobbyists in your organization. You need people to advocate for you when you're in these particular spaces. Because the decision ain't got nothing to do with your 15 people who are in here. They can decide on you before you reach. They say we game with him, but we can let this play out and we still game with him. When we get back, we can talk a little bit more about these particular things and talk about where we are in the country and make these particular things happen. Listen, God looked like he come here to rage bait me tonight. Well, I can take the bait. Let's go. We're going to be right back after this, guys.
At the Water and Sewage Corporation, safety and convenience are our top priorities. However, our meter readers face challenges that can make their job difficult. Locked gates to guard dogs sometimes leads to missed readings and estimated bills, which can be frustrating for you and us. That's why we're upgrading to digital meters. They bring safety, accuracy, and convenience to homes across the Bahamas. We can streamline data collection, reduce on-site visits, and provide more accurate bills with no more estimates. Digital meters also help detect leaks early, saving you from costly bills and reducing water waste. Soon, a user-friendly app will let you track your water usage, manage bills, and stay informed, all at your fingertips. Over the next year, we're rolling out digital meters nationwide, transforming how we serve you with a safer and cost-efficient water supply. To learn about our digital meters, visit our website or call us today. And don't forget to update your information at any of our locations.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island is the best kept secret in the Bahamas. Located directly next door to the Atlantis Resort, you'll receive all the privileges of an Atlantis guest with all the benefits of a Comfort Suite stay. Enjoy everything Atlantis has to offer, including Aquaventure Water Park, plus all the amenities of Comfort Suites. Free Wi-Fi, free breakfast daily, and kids stay, play, and eat free. Visit ComfortSuitesPI.com.
Welcome to Paradise Games, where exceptional service meets the ultimate gaming experience. Our dedicated team is here to make every visit a win.
Now this is paradise.
This is more than just a place to play.
Now this is paradise.
It's where excitement meets world-class service.
Now this is paradise.
Now this is paradise.
Come, experience it for yourself. Now this is paradise.
January means business.
This segment is brought to you by EV Motors Fleet Sales Division. For 2026 commercial vehicles, call 821-2403 today.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're having a beautiful evening. I am Howard Grant, sitting in for Shanique Miller as she continues to be able to bask in the Peruvian sun. I don't know where Shanique is, but she's enjoying herself. And you'll see her again, I think next week. She'll be here. But I'm sitting with none other than my very good friend who decided to be able to peek into my closet to figure out what we were in together as we start our political, our political organization, Garth Rosborough. He's here with us tonight, being able to jam with me and talk about these things. Garth, I always enjoy talking with you because you cause me to dissect these things and you give me a chance to be able to talk about these things because I often ponder these things. Yeah, some persons they're swift to be able to move with. Some persons that are they're a little bit reluctant to be able to make a decision on. And I think that Michael was a constituency after we heard from Basil McIntosh being able to take on his position to indicate that he's going to be able to step down, and he hasn't kind of rescinded that offer. He didn't kind of come back and double back and say, hey, listen, I want to come back again. We've seen that, right? But Basil McIntosh is safely being able to separate himself from these particular things. So the organization needs to be able to come up with clarity and say, hey, listen, this is the person. Now, I don't know if Mr. Carey has the support of Basil McIntosh. I don't know whether or not he's gone at lengths to be able to get the support of the sitting member of parliament. But though you need to be able to move with aggression and this kind of a determination to be able to acquire a position for yourself, though you need to fight, there are some traditions, there is some formality, statesman's-like quality that we're still looking for those persons who transition from one space to another. Amen? I just want to be decent as I say that.
Oh, right.
I just want to be decent as I say that.
See, you're trying to avoid what I got coming for you.
Okay, let's go.
The fact that we had someone duly elected for Michael, those people in Michael are fully deserving of true representation and a representative that is able to fight on their behalf or to ensure that they get the respect that they deserve in the southern Bahamas, a place that has been just simply neglected. Because I understand it may be illness, I saw the videos while sitting in the studio that there were people in Michael who did not even know what Mr. McIntosh even looks like. Now, some of them watch the parliamentary station. I don't watch it.
They vote for him.
Well, he won.
They vote for him.
I say, but they voted for the color like a lot of people do.
They know what Miriam Emanuel looked like. They vote for her
now,
the second go around.
No, hold on a minute.
They vote for him.
Miriam Emanuel, when she campaigned, I recall the string of cars in each one of those 5 islands when she campaigned.
But she didn't win the second go round.
But
she's my good friend, and I love her husband.
Yes,
Praise God.
Yes. But she didn't win the second time based on Bahamian people's view of the statements that she made in the House of Assembly.
No, I don't think it just had to do with that. Based upon the rhythm that existed in our country, FNM, PLP, they were waiting for minutes to mess up in a situation.
So you believe if Miriam Emanuel ran in Michael again, she could win?
Miriam Emanuel is loved in Michael.
So why doesn't the FNM send her down there?
The FNM has their own decisions of what they've done. The FNM's decisions have nothing to do with what exists in every constituency, and we've already seen that. The FNM has not made decisions for what is best in the constituencies throughout the course of this round of ratifications, this year's round of ratifications. They have not. North Abaco continue to be able to rebut and say that we didn't want the Boodle girl, we wanted the gray, we wanted the gentleman who was the gray, we don't know what they came, they superseded this particular process, that's what they said. Cassius Stewart, the exact same thing. Jamal Moss, who's supposed to be in South Beach, is the exact same thing. There was no consideration for what existed on the ground, and Miriam Emanuel ended up being able to work the ground in Southern Shores for about a few months, well, maybe even a year, being able to touch those persons out of nowhere. Denley Penn shows up and they superseded the process again. Come on, you don't want me to say this, but this is what exists on the ground.
No, I laugh because you call somebody's name who I'm very well familiar with, and I know how they campaign. I know how they just bamboozle the electoral process to get the name in the front.
I'm getting in that.
What you mean you ain't getting in that? That's why I have to laugh. No, just because a couple of people vote for you don't mean the whole constituency want you. How you figure that? If the people know better and they know that you can fail, why should they select you? That's why I can't understand Bamboo Town now. What they send him there for? Or what he sent himself there for?
You mean the chairman?
Yeah.
But let's be clear about some things. I'm saying to you that we've watched the entire process for the FNM with the choosing of new aspirants to be placed in a position of representation, we watch this problem continue to be able to unravel like a thread that you pull out of your clothes, and the next thing you know, my God, you're naked. This is what's happening in the organization.
I don't understand that.
Kalani was the exact same thing.
I don't understand.
The Kalani constituency was supposed to be for Lincoln Deal had been, this boy, young man, young man, and I don't want to be disparaging because I don't want you or Michael to come cussing me or to be decent, right? This young man, a friend of mine, who he gave more south in Kalani. They was eating sauce almost every week. He did the SMART, the STEM things. Yeah. He had people coming out. He was taking care of Kalani prior
to Michael showing up.
To any of this.
And Michael is your friend too.
They supersede the process. Michael is my friend also.
Yes.
They supersede the process.
Okay.
They supersede the process.
But he's doing well.
Beyond the supersession, Minnis right there looking up like, oh, what about Minnis? And Michael are trying to get the headquarters and everything. Let's just be clear about this. Then they had to make a shuffle. It was supposed to be based upon conversations. It was supposed to be Heather Hunt, who was supposed to be in Freetown. Heather Hunt moved away from Freetown. Heather Hunt went to...
Carhipville. Carhipville.
No, it's called...
Everybody knows that's Carhipville. Come on, man.
The constituency is called Elizabeth, just to be clear with that, okay?
But why would you even accept that,
okay?
unless you understand that you ain't gonna really make it, but you may cut a deal? Is that what happens in politics?
Well, when Sabas showed up in Fort Charlotte...
Okay. You didn't see Travis put on the reverse thrusters?
Travis says, well, he cut down giants before.
No, man.
That's what Travis saying.
You can say whatever you want.
That's what Travis saying.
You can say whatever you want to say. How I don't...
I'm trying to tell you
okay, let me ask you
that
this.
nobody afraid to cut hip. All of us start at zero. And once we start at zero, depending on the work that you put through and your faith, you may be able to be victorious. Now
Howard, that's a lie.
You may not.
Howard, that's a lie. Let me tell you why.
Nobody can cower out.
Howard.
You got to fight.
Howard, if you know you're going to lose, let me ask you a question. You can spend your money if you know you're going to lose.
Yes.
You can spend your money.
No, I spend my money with DNA.
You know you're going to lose when you...
Of course I know I was going to lose.
Stop it, man.
Yeah.
So what you run for?
For the same thing that's happening right now. The after effect of these particular things. We're in a society that's highly engaged politically. We're in a society that doesn't understand your value, your vision, your talent, and anything unless you put it on display. I had to put the thing on display.
No, sir. I ain't buying that, Howard.
Plus, my mommy say, baby, you could do well there.
You thought it was time for change.
Talk to Brand.
Yeah, you thought it was time for change. You was with Brand.
I thought, and I
you
keep
thought there was a
saying
chance.
this.
There was a small chance.
Listen, I thought, even if we don't win this go round, once we have that stickability and that sense of consistency in the DNA, I ran in 2012. Once we had the stickability and the consistency, I was in there for the long. That's why I moved to Nassau. One of the reasons I moved to Nassau, so I could be able to help develop the party.
So what happened in 2017?
I didn't run in 2017.
Why? What happened to stickability?
The party shifted course. Not me.
Oh, not you?
Not me.
You stay in the course?
The party shifted course.
So you need to go talk to Mr. Rudy, what's his name here? Who was here? Rudy Dean?
No, that ain't the same party.
Which mean not in the same party, it's the same color?
Sir.
You can make the difference.
Look at us on the camera.
You make the difference.
Look at us on the camera. You see your blue and my blue, still blue, but it's a different type of blue.
Yeah, but we still blue together. And so let me ask you another question then. Heather Hunt has been a senator, am I correct? Mm-hmm. She has ran before. Mm-hmm. I think it was Marathon. Mm-hmm. Okay? Why would you then go to Elizabeth?
Why do you want me to do this?
I have to have you to do this because I'm trying to understand how do people think politically.
Do I need to talk about someone to get fired again and again and again and again? Jesus. It's enough. It's enough. How much time you want me to get fired for what? Calling the man name.
What
does this man want me to do? What do you want me to do, Jesus? You need to stop. Who you want me to call? I got to call Ghostbuster after this. This too much. Right?
All right, well,
listen. We have heard, now you're going to read it for yourself because this voice done saying Bloody Mary in the mirror.
What you drinking?
It's only water. You need to stop, right? You There's no need
geez.
for me to continue to be able to stretch this out from east to west. Every single inflection I've said to you about the Free National Movement, when there was a ruffle and indifference with whether or not this is the person that's going in, we understood that there was a particular name that came up for interference.
Okay, we can stop right there then. I don't want you to lose no more job.
No, I don't work for myself now. I got my own things.
Call the name.
I got my own things. I
Call
got
the
my
name.
own show. I got my own building. I got my own... Hey!
Amen, hallelujah.
Jesus, give me a high five for that.
Yeah.
Praise God. Now let's go.
So, with all that being said, we looked at Mica. We looked at Long Island. You have to look now at Exuma and Ragged Island. That's safe?
Exuma, we have Miss Moxie in Exuma. Miss Moxie is... her father has been a patriot
of course.
For the
a
Free
great
National
man.
Movement, a great man.
A great man.
And her brother
another great man
is my pastor. And if there exists a passion that existed in their father for culture, if there exists a passion that exists for Christ in her brother, if she has that sort of genetics in her DNA, she will be awesome in the space of representation in the constituency of Exuma and the Rugged Islands. They rename it.
You see some shortfalls there.
Huh?
You see some shortfalls? That's the Deputy Prime Minister's seat.
The Deputy Prime Minister is a mortal man, and if you're determined to be able to make these particular things happen, then you could be able to find victory, but you got to work it. Now, I don't know whether or not you could be able to come back for what he has done in terms of being able to build the infrastructure to ensure that he shores up himself. What we've seen with SpaceX, what we've seen with the projects that they have going on there, what we've seen with this deliberate focus and attention of persons being able to come into Bimini and amplifying that, he seeks to be there for the long term. And I believe that if there is an intervention, if there isn't a proverbial wave that is taking everybody out, I believe that he will retain the position at Exuma. But that doesn't mean that I want to be able to take away from the value of what Ms. Moxie has to offer the persons in that particular constituency. She's still on a major ticket. She's with the Free National Movement. We know that Exumans has a tendency to be able to gravitate towards that, and she may have a fighting chance if the wave is on. But if the wave is on,
wave. So have you felt a wave as yet developing?
No, okay. I told you I got a text this morning to say that the Free National Movement will build 26 seats. I got a text this morning last night after they watched the show with Leslie and I. I got a text last night to say, Howard, the Free National Movement will win 26 seats.
Okay, so do they have 26 candidates now?
17, and how much the second round was?
Four was the last time we heard from them, so it's like about 28 right now.
Okay.
Like about 28.
Yeah, but all of them who's sitting there now ain't victorious.
So only two of them will lose.
All of them who's sitting there now ain't victorious. Let's just be clear.
Well, we're trying to break it down now. So let me jump to Cat Island, Ronquis, and Salvador. How are we looking?
Brave.
You looking good? They got water coming now?
Brave is going to win that.
Oh, Brave's going to win that. I ain't going to waste too much time now.
I don't think I should waste time.
So let's go to South Eleuthera. Clay Sweeting, Minister of Works, and
now
the young lady herself.
Listen. This ain't going to be easy. Clay is my guy, and I believe that he has an edge on them. However, we know that this constituency was giving us issues, and they continue to be able to come in social media, continue to be able to come on radio, continue to be able to complain about the fact that they didn't have running water, there has an inconsistency with these particular things, and there has been an issue that exists in these particular spaces. Clay came down, he fixed those particular things up, and then we didn't hear anybody say anything from that point, right? So I don't know whether or not he was able to appease sort of the indifference and the appetite for change that the persons were screaming for, yelling for, fighting for in the constituency of South and Central Eleuthera. But if he was able to do that, he should be able to retain that seat.
Okay, shift to North. Sylvanus Petty.
Sylvanus Petty indicated
Ricky Mackey.
Sylvanus Petty indicated that he would not run. He said that he would not run. He said that I'm not running anymore. I've decided to be able to step back, but the next time you see me, I will be
the Prime Minister.
Oh, Jesus.
But they didn't say he won't come back. So what's the problem?
But I see him again. The information that I've received is that he may be getting, or he will be getting, the nomination for North
Eleuthera, okay.
That's the information that I've received. Okay?
How does the fight
That
go?
could be inconsistent. That could be because we've received information that the constituency was supposed to be called Windsor. And then it's St. James now.
Yeah, we can
So
get there.
that means that things can shift. Things are fluid like the pandemic. Okay? Don't fight me. I'm simply saying to you the information most recently that I've received is that Sylvanus Petting will be ratified for the constituency of North Eleuthera.
Well, they're two great guys. I like that matchup. I think it's going to be a good fight in North Eleuthera. The fight continues. I think we got just about halfway through the family of violence. I got to hop to South Andros next and North Andros.
I'd like to talk about North Abaco when we get back.
We got to try to hurry to get to there, yeah.
When we get back, I'm going to talk a little bit more about North Abaco because we see that Boodle is in there, and we're hearing again about the ratification and the nomination for Kirk Cornish. So this is going to be interesting for us to be able to touch that. Let's take this quick commercial break, guys. We're going to be right back after this.
We have to be mindful that as much as we want touristic development, what impacts the fishery? Over-coastal development, destruction of mangroves, overzealousness of the industry. We have a new movement called do-it-yourself fishing. That is anglers who come to the Bahamas, they don't engage in hiring a guide. Because of this approach, you are going to have people who are going to exhaust the resources.
This is an industry that's preserved. It should be for Bahamian guides only. We have the DIYs coming in here and they're destroying our flats.
We try not to overfish certain areas, so we'll fish a certain area and we'll back off for a while because we don't want the fish to feel too much pressure.
It's not just using the buzzwords of the environment and the ecology. The tourists can be educated that the more you support local ownership, people are doing it obviously the right way, the more the economic circulation in the communities.
I think the most critical thing is accountability, and that accountability by way of legislation, both the Act and regulations to govern fly fishing in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
I look at conservation efforts and the regulation that I've seen to protect the industry that's in the developed world. All of those jurisdictions have implemented strong regulation to protect their fisheries. We are way behind, but we do have a movement and a consciousness. We know where we need to be. Those are our resources, and we have to make an exerted effort to protect it because that's the only gift that we have been given. And if we don't protect that, then we lose everything.
Building the lodge, I understood clearly the mission to continue what my father started. From this lodge, it has served as the headquarters. We finally got legislation passed in 2016, and it legitimized the guiding profession. We pushed to get the program established into BAMSI in the training of the next generation of guides, but it extends way beyond that.
We need more Bahamians in the industry who are doing the research to provide the information to the industry, that is to fishermen and to everybody who benefits from the resources.
We don't know the resources in this country. We grew up just hearing about sun, sand, and sea.
It is going to be through education and awareness, whether it's within our schools, whether it's in our communities, to conserve the environment, that is going to sustain the fly fishing industry.
Well, the future of fly fishing in the company, I think fly fishing is a very, very unique spot. I think it's going to get better because the guides are now being all certified. They're all getting proper knowledge of handling and how to run the whole system.
If you're a youngster and you want to get into this, it's a job like any other job. You got to live it. You got to love it.
Young entrepreneurs coming in, you want that kind of interest. You want that kind of drive and desire. You want to carry that. You want to become the product.
So you want a space. But not just any space. You need something with a little more potential. So how about 1,000 square feet of room to play with? Superb audio and video production capability, digital LED wall, full lighting grid, and about 124 seats to accommodate a full studio audience with so many other features. Make us your home for your next concert, conference, and so much more. Honestly, the possibilities are endless. Here at ILTV Studios, we'd love to bring your next event to life. So what do you say? Do you want our space?
This segment is brought to you by EV Motors Fleet Sales Division. For 2026 commercial vehicles, call 821-2403 today.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Beyond the Headline. I must tell you, this is the foundation. Let me just calm down. This is Beyond the Headline with Shanique Miller. And Shanique Miller is not in today. My name is Howard Grant, sitting in for you, just being able to jam and continue to be able to talk to you about what's happening from a national standpoint. We love politics, as you can see. And we enjoy having these engaging conversations. Garth and I continue to be able to do this. We've done it on radio for a long time now. You've elevated us. Praise Jesus. Sitting with me is none other than Garth Roseborough, continue to be able to talk about great things from a national perspective. My brother, what's happening?
Man, things are still happening. The conversation still continues. I'm finding out, Howard Grant, that the more we talk about these things, it's the more prolific the listeners become. You know, everyone in this country is now a political analyst. And they could now tell you, Howard Grant, that you're so wrong, you know, because they have their rationale.
They go always tell me I was wrong. I ain't got no problem with that.
But you know something?
I got a problem with that.
As we sat together on many an occasion, and the one respect that I do have tonight, and I just want to make this very plain, I have never seen Howard wrong in terms of his prediction and your feeling on the ground.
I was wrong about West Grand Bahama.
I was right on that one.
I was wrong about West Grand
Bahama. But I was right.
The PLP ensured that I was wrong about West Grand Bahama. The entire cabinet visited Grand Bahama. They touched for the by-election, right? They touched all those persons in West Grand Bahama. I thought that the F&M was able to kind of shave it out and get there because the traditional concepts and ideas that existed in there, in the fact of being able to get the candidate from a local perspective, ensure that he has a connection to the community, ensure that there's a name recognition. So the F&M did all these particular things. They didn't take a few things into consideration. There was some significant bumps in the road.
You never said that the F&M school, man.
This was a down
You
triathlon.
never said that. That's why I wasn't sitting with you.
This was a triathlon. Because when you jump over that rope and you jump in this big puddle, my God, this was too much. The F&M didn't win. No, I expected at the onset when Ricardo Grant was identified, I expected him to be able to find a sense of victory. I was wrong.
You
with
did?
That. Yeah.
I never got that from you.
At the onset, right? No, because you have to remember, he's my cousin. We from the same community. I know our family.
Everybody's your cousin down there.
Right? No, but a lot of them. Right?
Yeah.
That's why I never had no girlfriend down there. But anyway, praise God, that's a different story. So, a lot of them is our family, all of us, the Wild Gooses, all these particular persons, we live tight-knit in this particular community, and I expected to be able to see a sense of victory for them, right? We understood at the time that he had already been working the ground for some time, but in the post-election analysis, we understood what the issue was.
What's the issue?
Okay. We care not to say it on the People TV. Amen? So, I'll tell you after the show.
Okay, so when you ran, you was a Grant. Your mother was in the House of Assembly before.
I ran in Central Grand Bahama.
Okay.
As
you ran in 8 Mile Rock, West End area, you felt you would have won?
I would have get about 600-700 votes. I would have.
How much did you get when you ran?
I was 90 days out, I got 330-something votes.
That's still impressive.
Got 330-something
That's family loyalty down there.
Yeah, Nico Grant ran in the...
So when you look at Kingsley versus Grant, where does the family loyalty lie? Clearly with the PLP,
no.
Or with Kingsley?
No, Kingsley did well because of the descending of the entire PLP being able to come down and touch
Explain the word descending. So you choose get slick.
Come down, boom, that's
No. Descending.
The
with
cabinet
what?
of the Bahamas
with what?
Was in Nassau, came down, boom.
With what?
You don't descend. You don't have to have nothing to descend. You just come down. This man, when we talk about money, I'm not doing that today. We ain't got nothing to do with money. I am saying to you that Vaughn Miller called me, right?
God rest his soul.
Howard, God bless his soul.
Yeah.
Vaughn Miller called me, and he was on our yard. He was in our property. He was talking to my uncle. He had no need to talk to my uncle. My uncle is the biggest PLP life has to offer. My Uncle Van Dyke, praise God. Hello, Uncle Van, right? So Vaughn Miller called me and say, Howard, why you never... No, my Uncle Van Dyke called me, and I say, hey, what's up, Uncle Van? So he says, I got somebody who want to talk to you. Boom. He give Vaughn Miller the phone. Howard, why you didn't tell me this, your uncle, man? This and that, the next thing. I only tell you this story to let you know that the cabinet ministers was up and down in West Grand Bahama.
Doing things, though. What?
I don't know what they was doing.
Things.
Whatever they were doing, it was successful for Kingsley Smith. Now, Kingsley, my good cousin, he's a Smith. My granddaddy is a Smith. We is family. Let's be clear. You're going to have a hell of a time, Jesus, when it comes to this next election.
The young man who's
Bimini gone. West Grand Bahama is there. West End is your stronghold. That's where the PLPs reside. West End and in Andrestown, you can get a lot of them. As you move towards the east, you're going to have a hell of a time. Let me tell you why. Because I'm getting calls to say they would have liked to see you do this, they would have liked to see you do that, you haven't done this as yet, you haven't showed up with this. Somebody called me the other day and said that there was only a handful of computers that was, listen, I'm not here to be able to be disparaging to you. You know that we from 8 Mile Rock together.
We said that, Howard.
All right?
We said it was going to happen.
This is exactly what I said. Okay. Whoever wins is going to have a difficult time because the shoes were too big to fill for Obi Wilchcombe. It was too big to fill. Obi Wilchcombe made promises to people. There was a hope and aspirations that Obi Wilchcombe could come through for those people. Obi Wilchcombe passed away, leaving these people in proverbial limbo. And here you come, and they gave you an opportunity. The entire campaign slogan was, let's do this one for Obi. They gave you an opportunity. You understand? People who do not vote for PLP. I know this, sir. I'm telling you. They voted PLP. And you found the victory that you were looking for. That coupled with everything else. Now, every man for himself and God for us all. Every man, including the Prime Minister, will be in their own constituency. No support. You have no support. Have you developed your team? Have you developed those particular persons? I know that you have those things down there. Have you touched the people that you were supposed to touch? Are you doing what you're supposed to do? Election this year, baby.
All right.
Election this year. We're going to have some difficult times.
So this morning I was at home and a news team actually came to my house.
My God.
And they wanted to ask me some questions, and I told them, well, you know, I wanted to refrain, but of course at the same time I wanted to encourage young people, so I told them I would make a statement, which I did. They asked me what I felt about this whole entire election cycle, and this is my response to you then, Howard Grant, based on what you just said about West Grand Bahama and Bimini. There are people out there who are saying that this election is going to have a high voter turnout. Based on your conversation, I don't see it the same way. I don't see the energy as yet for young people to run to the Parliamentary Registrar General's office to register. I don't see any encouragement for them to vote. And I see many people who have voted in the past now either confused or simply so disappointed with politics that they may stay home. I believe, and this is why I said to you the last time we sat together, that you have to find something to actually encourage or to get the attention of the voter to get them to the polls. And for me, this race is based on who can get their base to the polls.
That's what I was getting you to.
What's that?
Nobody cares about everybody.
Okay.
It's not the objective of the PLP to get everybody to the polls.
So we agree?
No, the PLP does not. When it was in the PLP, you don't even see them coming out from a marketing standpoint telling people, get registered to vote. They don't even do that. They haven't done that for West Grand Bahama, and they haven't done that for Golden Isles. But they was in the constituency every day telling people, hey, come, let's go. Let me take you to go vote. Hey, let's go. Ain't nobody got to come tell everybody to get registered. I'm not trying to remind the FNMs to go get registered to vote. That's not my business. I can knock on your door. How you doing? Hey, how you doing? You all okay? It's very good. How everybody is in there. And so, will you be supporting us? And so the PLP doesn't do that. The PLP is not concerned about this sort of an idea of who voting, how much you all voting in there. Yeah? You're voting PLP? Oh, that's your mother? Oh, okay, yeah. Let me take you to go get registered to vote. Nobody concerned about all these particular things. The FNM's responsibility, their articulation, their position, their campaigning has always been able to reach not only FNMs, but those despondent. The persons that gravitate towards the FNM are always those persons who are undecided. The FNMs cannot reach. There is a firmament that separates the FNM from being able to reach the PLP. Ain't nobody into that. We is PLP, you all stay over there. The FNM has free range to be able to reach both the FNM, the independents, those persons who are indifferent, those persons who are undecided. The FNM's responsibility historically has been able to bring the sheep in, bring them in, bring them. They have done that. They've done it in 1992. They did it in 1997. They did it in 2007. They did it in 2017. This is what the Free National Movement does. The only time you see victory is when they gear their campaign to youth and pull them in. I am saying to you, that is not happening now.
Thank you very much. That's all I want you to say. Because
that's not happening.
You used the word sheep preacher man tonight, and sheep only go where there's grass, where there's food, And if you ain't got no grass,
that ain't what the Bible
and you ain't got no food.
That ain't what the Bible tell me.
Okay, what the Bible tell you?
The sheep, my sheep know my voice. That's all he say, voice.
Okay.
He ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
The voice of who?
The master.
Who's the master? The shepherd.
Oh.
The shepherd?
Yes.
Okay, and guess what? Tell me how the shepherd get the sheep.
He fed them and take care of them.
No. How he got the sheep?
You tell me. Go ahead. Tell me.
He had to go purchase the sheep.
Okay.
And only sheep could make sheep.
I just want you to know.
No, I want you to
we
understand.
Always get back the money with God.
That's the only thing that would matter. The only people in life, Bahamas, who gets away with not having money, I told Howard Grant this morning. Y'all got to understand, we talk behind the scenes. I said, Howard Grant, the only people who get away without having money is your children. Your young children. Because your old children, when they get a certain age, they got to get out your house or bring some money.
But you let the young children get away with no money because you look at this as an investment. All right, I can pay for them now. And when I get old with no teeth.
Okay, retirement baby.
When
Pension
I get
baby.
old with no teeth, they can change my depends. Amen? So I'll take care of them now.
So you tell me now then, what grass is on the ground to attract the young sheep or the lamb? How are you going to feed them? Let me hear this. Because I haven't seen it.
Were you talking about the Free National Movement?
Yes,
I don't know. I don't know. I can't.
You took me to the fair, you know. You and I went to the fair together. You remember the fair?
Of course.
Okay then. We went to the convention. Convention was awesome, by the way.
Yes, it was.
I really enjoyed the convention.
Yeah, but you could see and feel that they had money.
At the convention?
Yeah, because I wasn't free.
Now you see the difference? Because even Garth felt the energy that night.
Yeah, I wasn't free.
It was magical that night. And then it just fell off. How does that happen?
No, but that happens. It happens consistently because they are unable to be able to maintain the momentum of the organization and build on it. Because building and developing and maintaining requires money. If we got to get back to this.
Okay, so look at the Boodle. You want to go to North Harbour before we go? You got the Boodle lady, and you got Mr. Kirk Cornish. Mm-hmm. How do you see that working out?
Okay, so there is a variant that we fail to, or we neglect to be able to identify. Kai Mills exist in that particular constituency. And Kai Mills will capture 650 to 900 votes. He will. Kai Mills will capture anywhere from 650 to 900 votes.
Just the person that he is.
Kai Mills will capture anywhere from 650 to 900 votes. That's just off the top, right? If he pushes and he gets support, Kai Mills could take that constituency. He can. Kirk Cornish has some historic issues that he still has been vindicated from a social standpoint, but the public perception, there still exists a possible stain, and you have to be able to rectify that and deal with that. The Boodle lady's issue is that the votes that she is supposed to essentially acquire, those persons who are undecided, those persons who are independent, Remember I told you the FNM's responsibility is to be able to track FNMs and indecided and so forth and so on?
Yes.
Okay, so that works, that relationships works back and forward. The fact of the matter is that those people in that particular capacity, those people in those areas, they are looking to be able to vote for one person. If Kai Mills is that person, that vote comes from her. You could put Kirk Cornish right back in.
Okay.
You could put Kirk Cornish right back in, because remember that firmament that stops the FNM from being able to vote for the PLP and vice versa, PLPs will go dead strong for their man.
Well, I asked you this morning about representing the New St. James constituency. I am not going to give the answer that you gave me on the phone, but I guess if they want to hear a little bit about that, they can tune in tomorrow. You going to be here tomorrow?
We got one more segment?
No, that's the show.
That's the show. Ladies and gentlemen, I talked my guts out tonight, and I just was getting warm.
I want to give them the answer.
I just was getting hot to be able to talk about some things. So go ahead, talk to St. James. 2 seconds.
No. We can tell them what you said about St. James tomorrow. When they tune in.
When we tune in tomorrow, we're going to talk a little bit more about St. James. We're going to talk about those things and be able to identify them. Please forgive me for the spillage. Let's get deeper into getting into politics. I enjoy this, guys. I hope that you're good. And please don't take this with this kind of an idea that I seek to be disparaging to any political organization. We talk in politics. Let's be transparent. Let's talk about growth and development of the country. I thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to see you tomorrow right here on Beyond the Headlines.